Lights, camera, rolling, action.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
He's looking at you, kid.
Say hello to my little friend!
Hi, this is Joe, and this is the Filmjoe podcast, where film talk happens.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Hi, I'm Joe, your host, and I'm here with Daisy.
Hey, how's it going?
And welcome to the Filmjoe podcast, where we talk about films, filmmakers, trends, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, all in the spirit and for the love of film. So this week, it's going to be quite an interesting one. It's been an interesting watch schedule for us, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to revisit a couple of films that are generally remembered and regarded that they were bad when they first came out. And we're going to ask the question, were they really that bad? Well,
Oof.
yeah. But before we answer that such a burning question, just a little reminder, we're not professional film critics here. We don't pretend to be. We're far from. We're just a couple of movie fans who love to talk about movies. Also, in this episode, we may have some spoilers. So if you have not seen any of these films, you've been warned, right?
That's right.
All right. So, by the way, there's something I really want to mention regarding our listeners. I have access to stats and algorithms and so forth regarding the ratings and the listenership for our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There's one listener in France that listens to our episode every single week.
Oh, no way.
I got a bunch of numbers here, a bunch of numbers there, but in France, there's one listener.
Well, wow, okay.
You're right. So I'd like to call out to that one listener. If you're listening and you're in France, you're the one listener we have in the entire country. So first of all, thank you so much for listening. And please reach out to us over here at the podcast. Send us an email or check us out on our Facebook group page. Email us at the thefilmjoepod at gmail.com. We'd really love to hear from you. And again, thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah, thanks for listening. That's awesome. But it's a trip because I check my my stats every week and I see, the episode for different countries, states, and so forth. And France, one listener.
Ah, well, merci beaucoup.
All right. So, yeah. So, I thought that was really cool. So, again, if you're listening, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. So, now, what do you say we jump into this?
Okay, yeah, let's go.
So, have you ever rewatched a film after so many decades, and you go, and you remember it a certain way, and then years later, you're like, well, it really wasn't that bad. You view it through different eyes. Or you just say, it's still a piece of shit.
Usually for me, it's the other way around. I remember it fondly, and then I rewatch it, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, that's why rewatches are so cool, because you get to, I think you're in a different stage in your life, different attitude, different perspectives, and you see it differently.
Oh, yeah.
Well, especially with these two. But that's what we're going to find out. See how they either hold up, don't hold up, and were they really that bad? So let's jump into our first film. What do you say?
All right, let's go. How are we going to rate these?
Okay, well, good question. We're going to, this first one, on a scale of 1 to 10, feathers.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Yeah, that's adequate, right?
It's all right. I'll take it.
Okay. So in this first film, a duck from another planet gets freaky with Leia Thompson.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck. Let the female creature go. Every duck's got his limit, and you scum have pushed me over the line.
Jimmy, do you see what I see? A talking duck?
Yeah, that's it. I've been doing
too much toot. Shoot! Fly away!
No one laughs at a master of quack fu.
A sarcastic humanoid duck is pulled from his home world to Earth, where he must stop an alien invasion with the help of a nerdy scientist and a struggling female singer. The film we're talking about is Howard the Duck from 1986, and it's directed by Willard Huck. And the film stars Leah Thompson and Tim Robbins. So, this was an interesting film to rewatch.
To say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it when it first came out back in '86. It was really cool. Out here in California or in Hollywood, there's Sunset Boulevard, and what they would do is right before the summer, the studios would put out the biggest and coolest billboards to announce the summer films. And they had one for Howard the Duck, and it was basically an egg with a beak sticking out of it.
I do remember that. It was cute. I thought, I was, I remember I was really enthused and I was ready to watch that. And
well, I was excited. I mean, they didn't reveal the look of the duck until the film came out. And well, now we know there was a reason for that. But
to be fair, I thought he was cute.
Oh God, no, he was disturbing, those eyes.
Too realistic, but other than that, it was cute. He's a little duck booty.
Oh God, that was just horrible. I mean, okay, so here's my takes on this. Okay, again, I had not seen this since '86, and now I know why I haven't seen this movie since then.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I didn't like it, but I guess I just saw so much more into it this time and really saw it for what it was. I didn't realize how sexualized this movie was.
Oh my God, she wanted to jump his feathers. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah, I mean that was really weird. I mean, we're talking bestiality here.
I
mean,
felt bad for the duck. The duck was scared of her.
She was really throwing herself as like, well, this and that, and she's all sexy. And then, she shows up in that scene because Howard the Duck, here's the premise, basically. He's, what is he? He's a reporter or something on his planet?
You know what? Truthfully, I don't remember. I just saw it.
Yeah, and basically, he gets sucked out of, what is the duck world? And transported to Earth. And, he's trying to figure out a way to get back and so forth. And he meets Leah Thompson, who's a rock star, rock singer. And she has him over at her apartment and she starts to seduce him. It sounds stupid. Just saying it sounds fucking stupid. And
it was just wrong on so many levels. He was not digging it. He was like, no.
Ew, you nasty human woman. I mean, yeah, it was pretty weird. And then like, how about this? And so you have that, and there's a scene where he's getting transported through the portal and he goes through the wall and it crashes through different apartments. And one apartment, there's a female duck taking a bath, right?
He got duck titties. That was so wrong.
Duck titties, duck boobies. That was, I mean, as you're listening to this out there, listen, you can listen to this, hop on your Google search and Google duck boobies Howard the Duck, and there's a picture of a female duck with titties,
Boobies. Yeah,
boobies. Oh God, I mean, I was shocked. I'm like, whoa, I didn't remember this.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man. And then when Howard is at her apartment chilling out, or he's really tired, he's gone through this big adventure, he falls asleep, and she goes through his wallet. Now I think the wallet thing was kind of cool because it's a way for one character to, through this character, we find out more about another character.
Right.
Driver's license, photographs, and it does that. And she finds a duck condom.
And what's funny is that the fucking rubber is just kind of swimming around without its wrapper inside the wallet.
Those ducks are nasty.
And it's a tiny little one, too.
Oh man! And then on top of everything else, and it's remember he gets a job at like a massage parlor or something.
That did not look like no massage parlor. That looked like a sex den from like a third world country. That was just weird.
It was, and this is a kids movie, or supposedly, right? And you see people getting freaky in the hot tub in the hallways, half naked women. I'm like, this is wrong. I mean, me. By no means am I a prude, but
No, of course not. But I mean, that was
I'm-
just weird.
yeah, that was weird. And then even something as subtle when he first gets launched into onto Earth and he falls on this couple. Remember, they're in an alley, and
Yes.
his hand lands on her thigh, and he looks at it, and he's like, even something as subtle as that, the sexuality and the bestiality and this, it's just wrong.
Yeah, it was gross. It was, oh God.
Yeah, and then you got Leah Thompson prancing around in sexy underwear, which I didn't have a problem with.
Oh, of course not.
No, with her ass, she has her ass up in the air and everything, and then you got the duck just looking, as quack quack.
A booty's a booty.
I guess so. And this movie was rated PG.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, even at that, I mean, if anything, it's a soft R.
It is. It had duck boobies in it.
Yeah, but because they're not human boobies, they got away with a PG.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now, what you think of the final, the boss monster battle?
God, oh God. Considering that George Lucas was in the involved in this, um, the effects were just awful. I think I saw better effects in Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, ILM, which is Industrial Light and Magic, that's the special effects house that George Lucas created, and they did the effects for this. Oh God, that was horrible. In fact, from what I understand, I think George Lucas, he did this film as a favor to Universal because they didn't do, or they picked it up from George Lucas because we turned down Star Wars, so bring Howard the Duck to us, which they
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. Well, there was such a bad fallout after this film came out. Following a test screening, this is historical, okay? Executives Sid Sheinberg and Frank Price, they were top executives over at Universal. Once they did the test screening, they said they were witness having an argument after the screening and arguing about, okay, who greenlit this film? It wasn't me. No, it was you. No, it was you. Well, somebody greenlit, and it ended up in pushing and shoving and punching.
Damn.
That's
all because of a duck. Wow.
Yeah. And this was Willard Huck who directed this. He was a longtime associate and producer with George Lucas. In fact, he produced all 3 Star Wars films, the original films.
Right.
And before this, he did a film called Best Defense with, I don't know if you remember it, in 1984. It was Eddie Murphy and Dudley Moore.
Okay. No, I never seen it.
Yeah, it was a dud. I mean, I liked it when I saw it as a kid. I thought it was Eddie Murphy, but it was,
of course.
Yeah, but it was a bad film, and it was a box office flop. So basically, he did that. Then he does Howard the Duck.
All credibility goes out the window.
Whatever credibility he had, it went up in smoke, and he never directed another film after this film.
And I understand that there's an actual fan, a friend of yours who actually likes this movie.
Yeah. God bless him. I mean, he sees the beauty in this film, and that's great. So
you know what, like I say, I like it. I try to look for the good things in this movie, and he had a cute butt.
Okay, there's your one good thing. He had a cute butt. Oh God, no. And and further fallout from this film. I mean, there was so much fallout over at Universal. Frank Pierce and Sid Sheinberg, who had that argument, they basically quit their jobs as heads of Universal Studios
Wow.
because of this. I mean, it was just such a huge flop. And Variety even put a big, which is a trade magazine for Hollywood. The big headline on there was "Duck Cooks Prices Goose."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was huge. I
Wow.
mean, yeah, and and believe it or not, it was an expensive film to make. According to reports at the time, George Lucas, he had just built the multi-million-dollar Skywalker Ranch complex,
Hmm.
and he was counting on this film to help him fund from the profits to fund Skywalker Ranch.
Oh,
And
Lord.
yeah, he ended up. In fact, at the time, he also owned a digital animation studio under Lucasfilm,
Mm.
and he had to sell it, to try to make money back. And that studio later on went on to become Pixar.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that movie, it never made its movie back, any of its money back. They spent like on the duck alone, the duck suit was $2 million.
$2 million.
$2 million, and 8 different actors had to work inside the costume at different times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
It's a shame. I mean, to be honest, I can't really think of any other direction that it could have taken that would have made this movie better.
well, I think had it taken the same route that Who Framed Roger Rabbit did, I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, it's
And a different screenwriter, a different script. I mean, just tighten up the script because the concept would have worked. You got live action and you have an animated duck.
yeah, and not to mention the acting. Jesus Christ, the acting was horrible.
Oh God, Tim Robbins as the nerdy scientist.
He was awful.
He was horrible. I mean, he almost reminded me. I forgot the name of the actor from Reanimator.
Oh, okay, yes, yes,
That
yeah, I know who
yeah,
you're talking about.
that schlocky horror film. His acting was on that level, so just over the top, and it was cringy. It was really hard to watch his performance.
Leah Thompson, just as horrible.
Yeah, but she was cute.
She was cute, but it's funny because it kind of reminds me of another George Lucas film, The Phantom Menace, where you have, great actors, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, who else, who was Qui-Gon? I forgot his name.
Oh, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, great actors, but, just
It just went
Natalie
south.
Portman. Yeah, yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, and I think that's you did have great talent here. You had I'm not going to mention his name because he doesn't deserve his name to be mentioned, but the actor who played the dad in the original Beetlejuice. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
Yes,
and
I know who you're
we
talking
don't mention pedophiles' names on here, but
No.
he was the villain slash good guy scientist in this, and his performance was god awful. I mean, no wonder why Willard Huck never got another job.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh God, yeah. It's sad.
yeah, and so after because back then the rollout from domestic to international was a slower pace because these were actual rolls of film that weighed upwards of hundreds of pounds to transport here and there. So the rollout release was slower back then. So word had gotten out that Howard the Duck was a stinker. So when they released it internationally, they changed the title to kind of ease it up a little bit. They call it Howard, a new breed of hero.
Like,
Look,
nah. People are like, nah, we ain't stupid.
yeah, it's a turd. You can put flowers on the turd. You can put all kinds of nice things on a turd, but it's still going to be a turd.
Howard
Nasty
the
piece.
turd.
Howard the Turd is what it was. It was bad. And again, I know there's people who love this film. There is a cult following to this film.
There is. I have a friend who loves this movie.
Yeah, and good for them, but I just don't get it. I don't. I mean, it's like I said, I saw it in '86. I saw it recently, and I'll never watch this movie again.
Never. I think I saw it the same year that you saw it, and that was the first time. And I saw it yesterday, second time. That was the last time.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, but it's funny how I didn't catch a lot of the sexualization that was going on.
No, as a kid, I didn't. I had no idea.
Yeah, and they marketed the shit out of this movie. I mean, they had big posters. They wouldn't reveal the look of the duck. They kind of wanted to go the same route as E.T. because E.T. Was not seen until the film. They didn't have them on posters and commercials. It wasn't until the release of the film that they revealed the look of E.T.
Right.
They tried the same. They wanted to do the same thing with Howard the Duck. No, that was just horrible. That was bad. It was really, yeah. It was a very disturbing looking. Those eyes, for Christ's sake, I get nightmares. Just, oh no.
I think at the end, when they're playing his song and he's dancing on stage, I thought that was cute.
That was Howard the Duck. And that, what's fucked up is that you hear that song and you cannot unhear it for hours afterwards.
Yeah, it's a fucking earworm.
Yeah, it sticks to you. And I tried to like it. I wanted to like it. I wanted to give it a fair shake, but I couldn't. So let's get into the numbers of this film.
Okay.
The budget at the time was $36 million.
Ouchies.
That is $102 million in today's dollars. Not a cheap picture.
Oh man.
Box office at the time of release, 38 million, which is about $108 million today. So it only made a few $1 million more than its budget.
Well, at least they got some of that money back.
No, because you still have marketing and advertising.
Se jodieron.
Yeah, they actually were in the red. They lost money on this film. People lost their jobs, their reputations, their careers.
My God, this movie ruined people's lives.
Yeah, except Leah Thompson, because she still promotes that film to this day.
But she's cute, so.
Yeah, you can't be mad at Leah Thompson, but just those scenes of her trying to seduce a duck. Oh God.
It was so disturbing.
Yeah. So let's go to some reviews and scores. Cinema Score, which is an audience survey, they give this film a B minus.
B minus?
They give this film a B minus.
We're talking about the same movie, right?
The same fucking movie. They must have been high or something. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Gene Siskel, Roger Ebert's critic partner of the Chicago Tribune, he gave this 1 out of 4 stars. He straight up called that. He said it was a stupid film. The story, nothing graceful there. It was a stupid movie. Period.
Fuck sugarcoating it. It was stupid.
Right. No eloquence, no fancy wording. It was stupid. He said that the story had no center. The duck was not likable, and the effects, well, they were less impressive than sparklers on a birthday cake.
Wow.
Yeah, and I agree 100%.
For once, yes.
Yeah, but it's funny. He just said it's a stupid film.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was disgusted after watching that shit.
Oh, man. IMDb is sitting at a 4.7. Metacritic, 28%. Rotten Tomatoes, critic score, 13%.
That's brutal.
That is. And audience score has it at 38%. So it was not loved. And then Letterboxd, 2.2 stars out of 5.
Jesus.
It was a brutal film. I mean, sequels remakes, nothing. They didn't even try to do a comic book adaptation for us. Nothing. Uh, they kept way the
There was
fuck.
no saving this fucking movie.
No, they stayed way the hell away from it. They're like, no. What about a cartoon? No,
No.
no. Mm-mm. Go ahead and give your brief review and rating on this one.
God, like I like a lot of crappy movies. I've been known to like crappy movies, but this just I can't. I mean, the acting was just horrible. It was not funny. The only redeemable quality that I can come off from this was, his cute little duckiness. I thought he was cute. That's
Okay.
it. That's it. So for that, I'm gonna give this film. whew, uh, damn, I'm gonna give it one feather.
One feather out of 10. Wow.
Yes.
That is pretty bad. So the question is, I got two questions.
Okay.
On the Mac and Me metric, is it better or worse than Mac and Me?
It's worse than Mac and Me. I'd rather watch Mac and Me again
Wow. So
than
the
to watch
question
this crap.
second question, was it really that bad?
It was horrible.
Well, for me, I thought it was hard to watch. It was not, it's a comedy, and I didn't even chuckle once. It's supposed to be cute. I was not even once was I endeared. The writing is sophomoric. It's over the top. It's silly. The entire cast was wasted. Special effects are horrible. And it was a complete waste of my time. I'd have to give this also 1 out of 10 feathers. Yeah.
I'd rather have a root canal.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll take 2 of them. And on the Mac and Me metric, I'd have to say it was equally as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was it really that bad overall? Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Woo. Okay. That was a tough one. So now let's go on to our final film. All right. And
Okay.
we hang out with a sailor. I am what I am.
What am I? I'm Popeye, the sailor. And I am what I am, what I am, and I am what I am, and that's all that I am, 'cause I am what I am. You got it? I think so, yeah. And I've got a lot of muscle, and I only got one eye, and I never hurt nobody, so I'll never tell a lie. Top to my bottom, from the bottom to my top. That's the way it is, till the day that I'm dropped. What am I? What am I? I am what I am! Popeye, the sailor.
The adventures of a famous sailorman and his friends in the seaside town of Sweet Haven. The film we're talking about is Popeye from 1980, and it's directed by Robert Altman, and it stars Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, and Paul L. Smith. Okay, so you first. What were your takes on this?
Oh shit! Like I said, I have my favorites when I was a kid. I used to love watching Flash Gordon, Annie, of course, my Star Wars. This was one of them. I used to love watching Popeye. Anytime that they would show it on TV, I used to love watching it. First off, I have to say that the casting for this was on point.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they couldn't have picked anybody better to play Popeye. As the Robin Williams and
Mhm.
Olive Oil.
Oh, she was fantastic.
Miss Shelley Duvall, she killed it.
Oh, she was amazing in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh, yeah.
what I found interesting. I mean, I love the way it opened. By the way, with a
Mhm.
Popeye cartoon in black and white on a small screen,
Yes.
which kind of reminded me the way Superman opened. M-
Oh, you're
yeah,
right.
with a little small screen and has the Superman thing on there, and I thought that was kind of cute. That was neat.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Now I thought that. I mean, I'm familiar with the director, Robert Altman. He doesn't have a huge, well, he does have a huge filmography, but he's mainly known for 3 films that really did very well, and they were critically acclaimed. One was MASH in 1970,
Oh, okay.
and Nashville in 1975, and The Player with Tim Robbins also in 1992. great director. I think he was the wrong guy for the job, though. I mean, uh,
You know what though? What I like is that they did keep the story within its own Popeye world instead of having Popeye go into the real world like a lot of cartoons that they make into
oh,
live
oh,
action.
like yeah, well, like your favorite He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. They kept it within their little world, which I appreciated that.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? I'll give it that. I mean, I do think it was too literal an adaptation
Mm.
of the characters, of the action, of the quote unquote comedy. I didn't find it hilarious. Um, the acting was a little weird. I mean, you got the slapstick stuff was a little too cartoony, too
It was
cartoony.
it was over the top, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and they hired circus performers for a lot of the background characters to do a lot of those weird things.
Yes, yes, that's what I heard.
But casting, like you said, was perfect.
Mhm, mhm.
Olive Oil, Wimpy, Bluto, Popeye, they were all on point and just perfect casting.
Yeah, definitely. Did you know though, Shelley Duvall, when she was a kid growing up, the kids at school used to call her Olive Oil?
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So she had a very strong connection with the character then.
Oh yeah, it was meant to be.
It was. I mean, she was, in fact, just a couple years earlier, she had filmed the Shining,
Oh yes.
which was a nightmare for her, and it said that she loved so much working on this film.
Yeah, it was totally different atmosphere. She
Yeah,
didn't have somebody torturing her, throughout the scenes and stuff.
yeah, yeah. And so, I mean, it remained, and you could tell by her performance that she really is into the character, and she's having a really wonderful time, and that's really nice to see.
Mhm.
Um, Now, there was one character that kind of bugged me.
Okay.
And now he was good, but I'm gonna tell you why it bugged me. Was Paul L. Smith, who played Bluto,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
and
Mr.
he
Anger
was
Management.
yeah, and he was great. But I associate him much more with a 1976 film called Midnight Express, which is the true story of an American who goes to Turkey and tries to smuggle some hashish out of the
Oh,
country.
okay.
Yeah, and the guy gets thrown in a Turkish prison, and Paul Smith plays a sadistic rapist prison guard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had a little trouble. Okay, it's brutal. He did do the job, but I'm like, no, he's a sadistic rapist.
Oh gosh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, which is it's a statement on his performance. What him as an actor, he was that good. He left me an impression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but the sets were beautiful.
Mhm.
Was another great thing that I loved in the film. I mean, it was all built from the ground up, and it was just really really nice to see. But it did have a strange tone to it. I mean, again, I think this goes back to the director, Robert Altman. He's more of a dramatic director,
Mhm, right.
dealing with heavy subject matter and so forth. And there was moments of uncomfortable silence at times that would kind of threw me off a little bit.
A little heavy, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And one thing that I did find really strange because I love Robin Williams. He is amazing.
He is. He really is. God bless him.
Oh yeah, and he had the look and the movement and the voice of Popeye. He nailed it.
He
Uh,
was Popeye.
he was. But it did seem like Williams was holding back a little bit his energy.
He had to. Have you ever seen him in interviews?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean the guy's wild, but I think he was more subdued in this, and I think you could tell that he was trying to tone it down a bit. Um,
Right.
I would have liked to have seen him kind of give a little bit more energy to it. Not to say that his performance was bad, it was not to its full potential. That's what I'm thinking.
Right, right.
Yeah, and and some of the musical numbers were nice. It was too. I mean, the music numbers were strange as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what a dirge is, right? A dirge is a sad kind of like paced song that you play at funerals.
Right. Okay.
Like those funeral processions in New Orleans.
Yes.
That's a dirge. Some of
Okay.
these fucking numbers were like dirges. And I was like, okay. But there was two songs that I really liked. I thought that was really sweet and touching. The one where she sings about Popeye, he needs me.
That was cute. Yes.
That was nice. And the song that Robin Williams sings about Sweet Pea.
You know,
A little bit.
it's funny because those two that you mentioned were both my favorites from the movie. I have to say that one of the scenes that really struck a chord with me, and this is when I was a kid too, when they took Sweet Pea.
Oh, that was sad.
Oh my god, I was heartbroken. The feeling of anxiety that I felt at Popeye not having the baby with him, that messed with me. Oh my god, I felt it really hard, and even more so now that I'm a mom. I
Right.
felt it all over again. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah. That was it was impactful. I thought that was pretty because you feel Robin Williams's or Popeye's sadness that, Sweet Pea is gone. Where's Sweet Pea? And it was sad. It really was. I thought it was pretty effective in that sense. So overall, I mean, I thought it was a kind of a strangely toned film, kind of bland. Um, and but the cinematography was beautiful. The colors were really well, they popped out and everything. But yeah, it was definitely a different viewing. I know that when I first saw it, I hated it.
yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and Jesus Christ, I mean, we had cable when we were kids, and when it was released on cable, now back in the days, it would show on cable like every other hour, and we had Showtime, and we had HBO,
Mhm.
and if it was on, you were watching it.
Oh God, most definitely yes.
Oh gosh, oh man,
That one and Annie. I want to say they both came out around the same time.
yeah. I mean, Disney, who did Popeye, they tried to get the rights for Annie, and they couldn't get it, and they're like, "Well, what else can we get?" And they
Mhm.
went with Popeye
Yep.
instead.
Mhm.
And it's also the same year as Flash Gordon.
Oh wow. Okay, another one of my favorites.
Yeah, which was pretty bad, but we got to cover that one as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I would love to.
yeah. Now this was Robin Williams's first starring role.
Wow. Oh yeah, I heard he was about 21 when he did this, right?
Well, I think it was a little older because he had just finished his run on Mork and Mindy.
But yeah, he was really young right there.
Yeah. Oh, which is an interesting tie-in. Who plays Popeye? Robin Williams.
Okay, yes.
Now, Poop Deck Pappy, which is Popeye's dad, is
Mhm.
played by Ray Walston.
Okay.
He's also a TV star from back in the 60s. He played a Martian or an alien who lands on Earth and ends up living with a human being.
Oh, no way.
And Robin Williams, that's his start as well. So they both played aliens who live with human beings and in a sitcom TV show.
What was the name of that show? Do you remember?
Oh yeah. It was called My Favorite Martian, and it was with Bill Bixby.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, nice. I had no idea.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool little thing there. But it was interesting because some of the dialogue that Popeye or Robin Williams delivered was kind of like muffled a little bit. It was kind of hard to understand at times,
Yeah, yeah.
and some of it was so bad that they had to bring him back to redub quite a bit of his dialogue.
Wow, that's trippy.
Yeah. Also, another interesting tidbit: the small town of Sweet Haven,
Mhm.
which was built in what was it? Anchor Bay in the at Malta on the
Malta.
little off of Italy,
Mhm.
and they never tore it down.
I know, it's still there.
Yeah, it's a tourist attraction.
That's on my bucket list. I wanna go.
Imagine.
Oh, I'd
Uh,
lose my shit.
that would be kind of cool to go to. I mean, to
It
check it out.
would. Yeah.
Another thing that was kind of cool about this in the opening sequence, like we mentioned, they have a small, like a little short Popeye thing, from the original cartoon,
Mhm.
and Popeye is voiced by Jack Mercer,
Okay.
who he voiced the original Popeye back in the 30s. Oh, in the 40s.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and he came out of retirement just to do it for the film.
Wow, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it turned out to be, unfortunately, well, he was very old. His very last work as an actor, as he passed away, in 1984. So he got to do it one more time.
Oh, that is so cool. I love it.
Yeah. Now, for the role, like we mentioned, also Olive Oil, who was played by Shelley Duvall to perfection.
Yes.
And that's one thing I remember about the film when it came out. A lot of people, I talked to, they saw it, they go, that movie sucked. It was weird. I liked it. Whatever they said, but everybody said that they loved Shelley Duvall. That's one thing that I got universally from a lot of people who had seen the film. That she was great in the film, and it's one of my favorite parts of the cast. But she was not the first choice.
She wasn't?
No, the producers, they wanted Gilda Radner to play Olive Oil, and
Wow.
yeah, and for those of you who don't know, she was part of the original Saturday Night Live cast and wife of Gene Wilder.
I can't see anybody else but Shelley Duvall playing this role.
Yeah, she was and always will be Olive Oil.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
Now, the budget of the film, most of the budget went towards the Sweet Haven set, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, it was incredible. Well, to put this thing together, they had an international crew working on this 24/7. It was 165 construction workers who worked on this for 7 months to construct it. They had trunks, like tree trunk logs,
Hmm.
brought in from the European continent, from the Netherlands. They had wood shingles all the way from Canada. They had 8 tons of nails, 2,000 gallons of paints, altogether to complete this set. When
Wow.
they finished the village, all in all, it consisted of 19 buildings, including a hotel, a store, a post office, a church, and a tavern.
Wow.
Yeah, that pretty much explains why the octopus really sucked at the end. But yeah, so there is a climactic sequence where Popeye fights an octopus, and yeah, it's
I mean,
not very.
for what it was, I think it was, pretty decent.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but you know what? I think I was able to forgive it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it wasn't that bad, to be honest.
So the budget at the time was about $20 million,
Okay.
and that's about $76 million today. So it wasn't a cheap film either. Box office at the time of release was 60 million, which is over $227 million in today's money.
Wow.
So it was a huge hit.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Roger Ebert, he gave this film 3.5 stars out of 4. He really enjoyed it.
Wow, that's really surprising.
Yeah. IMDb is sitting at a 5.4. Metacritic 64. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 58%. Audience score 39%.
Okay.
And Letterboxd 2.8 out of 5. So yeah, it kind of reflects it wasn't a great film, but it wasn't
It was entertaining.
it wasn't Howard the Duck.
God, no, it wasn't Howard the Duck.
Yeah. So there was never any sequels, remakes, spin-offs, or anything along that line, which I'm surprised. I mean, with the numbers that it brought back from the box office, I'm surprised that they never seriously put forth a sequel.
Yeah. I think it was just fine where it was. I don't think it
Yeah,
needed a sequel.
no, not at all. So here's my review on this. I thought it was strange, and at times it was kind of bland and kind of dull. Uh, but it has this certain undeniable charm and sweetness to it, which I can't pinpoint, but it's there. There's something sweet about this film in a strange way.
Hmm.
Williams was not bad, but to me, it was Shelley Duvall all the way who stole the show. Maybe with a different director, this could have been a better film, but it's not a bad film. I give this 6.5 out of 10 anchors.
Okay.
So Yeah, 6.5. Now on the Mac and Me metric, definitely better than Mac and Me.
Oh yeah.
And was it really that bad? No, not as bad as I remember. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit this time around.
Okay, not so bad, not so bad.
All right, so what's your rating?
Well, like I said, I really appreciated the fact that they kept it within its element. There wasn't, yeah, like I said, I hated He-Man for that. As a lot of other films that try to bring cartoons to real life, they did the same thing. I hate that. They
Mhm.
kept it within its element. I like that. The casting choices were awesome. The story was cool. He's out there looking for his pappy. We got that adorable little sweet pea in it. I mean, it's a childhood favorite of mine, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it six anchors, simply because it got kind of the antics were a little silly, over the top. So 6 anchors.
Okay, not bad. So on the Mac and Me metric,
Oh yeah, no, it's way better than Mac and Me.
and as far as was it really as bad as you remembered or good as I remembered?
That's as good as I remember it.
Okay, cool, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, I mean, the film it has an undeniable charm to it, and which I don't remember the first time I saw it, and it was cute. Definitely not one of my favorite films, but it was a good rewatch. It really was.
It didn't hurt to watch it.
No, no, not at all. Now, Howard the Duck. I'm sorry, Gilbert. That movie was bad. That was bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
But God bless you. You like it, you go with it. Don't let nobody put you down because of it. But oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Not something I would brag about, but okay. All right. So, and before we go, again, to that French listener, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. So, we really hope you enjoyed the show. Please help to support the pod by giving us a 5-star rating. Leave us a great review, or another way you can support the pod is simply to subscribe and or follow us on Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Audible, Boomplay, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Also, don't forget to swing by our Facebook group. Leave us a message. Check us out on TikTok and check out our YouTube channel. That's where we also have all of our current episodes on as well. And check out our merch store. We got all kinds of cool stuff there. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, shot glasses, cat bowls. Yeah, you name it. We got it all there. All these links, they're in the show notes below. So please check them out. You can also contact us directly via email at thefilmjoepod@gmail.com. So I got the final word for this episode.
All right, let's hear it.
No one laughs at a master of quack foo.
Oh God.
Got to end it with Howard the Duck, man.
Oh God. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
That's the last we're ever gonna hear about Howard the Duck.
Yeah, please. We don't want to ever hear no. So make sure you join us next week as we explore the sequels that never were. These are films that had projected sequels, intended sequels, but they never became a reality. So swing on by next week, tune in and check it out. So with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy,
And this is the Film Joe podcast.
where film talk happens.